Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Reiska, Kristien Simanungkalit. And right now, I would like to present you or to telling you about my topic today is about teaching models and Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, without any further ado, let's check the material. Okay, next. Okay, for the contents, the first is teaching models, explaining current teaching models recommended by Curriculum 2013. And the last is Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, next. First, teaching model. What is teaching model? So, a model of teaching can be defined as the depiction of teaching and learning environment, including the behavior of teachers and students while the lesson is presented through that model. So, the teaching model, it helps students acquire information, ideas, skills, and value, way of thinking and means of expressing themselves. Okay, after that we have element of models. So the first is syntax. Syntax, it is the steps or phases of the model being presented before the class. It illustrates the logical and sequential order of the teacher-student activities of the instruction procedure. So it's like describe the complete program of action of the model. Second, we have social system. Social system of a model explain its nature of learning environment. It describes the role and relationships of the teacher and the students through the process as well as designing the lesson. Third is principle of reaction. Principle of reaction. This is the extension the extension of social system. It deals with the rules of reaction to the student's response in the classroom interaction. The reaction of the teacher must be in accordance with the theory of which model has been built. Fourth, support system. The support system, it includes all instructional ideas used in a model of teaching. So for the example, like book, encyclopedia, video clips, something like that. Okay, the last is effect of models of teaching. Model of teaching have a very positive effect of students' behavior. Okay, it is additional achievement gained by the students through the unique nature classroom interaction. So for example, are the development of problem-solving ability, analytical thinking, critical thinking, social skills, tolerance, and many more. Okay, up next we have teaching models by Curriculum 2013. First, we have scientific approach. So scientific approach is usually we meet in the Curriculum 2013. Okay, because in the 2013 curriculum, the learning process emphasized the student's attitude and its parallel with the scientific approach. An approach which integrating attitude, skills, and knowledge. Okay, there are learning stage that required by scientific approach, that is observing, questioning, exploring or collecting data, associating, and the last is communicating. Second, we have project-based learning. Okay, project-based learning is a learning method which uses project or activities as the learning media. Learners can do exploration, assessment, interpretation, synthesis, and such information to produce various forms of learning result. There are several stages to do in project-based learning, as explains below. Is start with the question, design a plan for the project, create a schedule, monitoring students, and the process of the project, assess the outcome, and the last evaluate the experience. Okay, next we have project-based learning. Project-based learning is Learning design with a various contextual problem that students could get important information and designing students to learn. Further, students expected to be able to solve the problem and having students' own learning model, and then participate in a team to solve the problem collaboratively. There are 5 stages to do when the teacher use this model. Okay, the first is problem as the study, problems as exploratory understanding, problems as example, problem as integral part of the process, and the last is problem as a stimulus of authentic activity. Okay, for the last is we have inquiry-based learning. Inquiry-based learning is emphasis in the process of searching and finding. The learning material is not given directly. The roles of students are search and find the learning material. This is same like now. While teacher as facilitator and lead the student to learn. There are 6 stages to do when teacher use inquiry-based learning. It is simulation, problem statement, data collection, data processing, verification, and the last generalization. Okay, next. Next is Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is a set of hierarchical models used to classify educational learning objectives into levels of complexity and specificity. Okay. Then the models were named after Benjamin Bloom, who chaired the committee of educators that devised the taxonomy. Okay, just next. Okay, there are 3 lists of learning objects in Bloom's taxonomy. There are cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Okay, for the first is cognitive domains. There are two picture in here. So for the first is the original picture from Bloom's, and on the left and the right is revised from the I forget the name. Kratwolf. Okay, Kratwolf. Okay. So in cognitive domains, in Bloom's, there are the first knowledge, ability to remember facts without necessary understanding. And then we have comprehension. Comprehension is the ability to understand the meaning of what is known. So the example, a teacher explained a theory in his own word. Third is application. Application is the ability to utilize the abstraction or to use knowledge in a situation. So for the example, a nurse in turn applies what she learned in her psychology class when she talks to patients. Fourth, we have analysis. Analysis is the ability to differentiate facts and opinions. Like the example, a lawyer was able to win over a case after recognizing logical fallacies in the reasoning of the offender. Next, we have synthesis. Synthesis is the ability to integrate different elements or concepts in order to form a sound pattern or structure. So, a new meaning can be established. For the example, we have a therapist combines yoga, biofeedback, and support group therapy in creating a care plan for his patients. Okay, for the last, in Bloom's taxonomy, we have evaluation. Evaluation is the ability to come up with judgment about the importance of concepts. Okay, for the example, a businessman selects the most efficient way of selling product. Okay, on the left, we have the revise of the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. we have the first remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Okay. In the chart shown, the higher the level, the presumably more complex mental operation is required. Higher levels are not necessarily more desirable than lower levels. Okay, that is like having a levels in the revise. Okay, we just next. Okay, the next is affective domains. For the first, we have receiving. So what is receiving? Receiving is the awareness of feelings, emotions, and the ability to utilize selected attention. For the example, listening attentively to a friend. Okay. After that, we have responding. Responding is active participant of the learner. For example, like participating in a group discussion. So students participating in a group discussion, having a conversation, something like that. Okay, next is valuing. Valuing is the ability to see the worth of something and express it. So, valuing is concerned with the word you attach to a particular object, phenomenon, behavior, or piece of information. For the example, is proposing a plan to improve team skills, supporting ideas to increase proficiency, or informing leaders of possible issue. Okay, next we have organization. So, organizations is ability to prioritize a value over another and create a unique value system. Okay, for the example, a teenager spends more time in her studies than with her boyfriend. Of course, it must be. And the last we have characterizing. Characterizing. Okay, the ability to internalize values and let them control the person's behavior. For the example, a man marries a woman not for her look but for what she is. Oh my god, this is very romantic. Okay, next. Okay, this is the last psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain. For the first we have perception. Perceptions is the ability to apply the sensory information to motor activity. For example, a cook adjusts the heat of stove to achieve the right temperature of the dish. Next, set the readiness to act. For example, an obvious person displays motivation in performing planned exercise. Guided response, the ability to imitate display behavior or utilize trial and error. For the example, a person follows the manual in operating machine. Next, we have mechanism. Mechanism is the ability to convert the learned response into habitual actions with proficiency and confidence. For example, a mother was able to cook a delicious meal after practicing how to cook it. Next, we have complex overt response is the ability to skillfully perform complex patterns of actions. For the example, typing a report on a computer without looking at the keyboard. It's like tapping with 10 fingers. Next is adaptation, the ability to modify learned skills to meet special events. For the example, a designer used plastic bottles to create a dress. So this is very creative. Okay, the last we have origination. It is creating a movement patterns for a specific situation. Okay, it is like, for the example, a choreographer creates a new dance routine. Okay, I think that's all. So, in conclusion, we have 3 in Bloom's taxonomy. So, for the connective, it is about how we can understand the material, and affective, it is like how we feel, And the last is psychomotor. It is the action. Okay, I think that's all my explanation today. I'm so sorry if I've a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.